is MC Take, and this is my take. Affirmative action. The term first coined by JFK in 1961, but not fully implemented until 1965, 1966 by President Lyndon Johnson. Affirmative action ensures that you will not be discriminated against in the workplace or in colleges due to race, religion, sexual orientation, or national origin. But we see now in the Congress and in the Supreme Court, there is an insurgence rolling through, trying to eradicate the advances made through having affirmative action. Wanting to take it back to a time before. Perfect example, Edward Snowden, a most evident case of a certain type of affirmative action called the Good Old Boys Club. Back in the days when the Good Old Boys Club had its greatest power, if you were a minority without a high school diploma or a degree from college, you were underqualified. If you had your high school diploma and you had your BS or BA degree, your master's degree, and or your PhD, you were overqualified. But with the Good Old Boys Club, if you had the complexion for the protection, you could be a high school dropout and make over $100,000 plus, have your car, have your stripper, have your house, live in Hawaii. Wait a minute. That just happened. Got uncovered just a couple of months ago with Edward Snowden. Wait a minute. They're trying to eliminate affirmative action, but they still got the Good Old Boy Club in full effect. The Good Old Boys Club in full effect, but they're trying to eliminate the advances for all so-called minorities, women, people who don't practice white Anglo-Saxon Protestant belief, and people who have different sexual orientations than the average. If they knock down one part of affirmative action, then they're coming for the rest of it. As long as there's the affirmative Good Old Boy Action Committee, we need to continue to fight for affirmative action. This is MC Take, and that's my take. The Crazy D Show.
Baby, kiss me.
I'm standing here in downtown Las Vegas, and it's a lot of attractions that you see on the strip. However, when I see one of my own, hey, what can I say? I'm just built that way. I have to make sure that I give them a spotlight just like we did in Hollywood. I gotta make sure to give them a spotlight and drop some money into their till. So pan over. Pan over.
Sweet darling. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right.
Keep singing.
I'm singing. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. She's the one I long for. Oh, I worship and adore her. In other words, please be true. In other words, sweet baby, I love to you.
Yeah.
All right.
The Crazy D Show. Black Ice Chronicles.
Welcome to TC's Real Crib! TC's Real Crib!
The Black Ice Chronicles Master. This is Crazy D. I'm standing on Sunset in Hollywood. Right across the street from me is Amoeba Music. The Black Ice Chronicles Females and the Shifter DVDs are selling here now. Pick up your copy right here in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard at Amoeba Music. The Crazy D Show. I'm standing here with Chris Webster. You know him from the movie Heathers and also Hellraiser 1 and 2. He's the writer, producer. He's the one who actually went out and was able to get the money necessary to make these films that actually made money in Hollywood. So my first question to you is, would you say that you were one of the first to, there's been many productions outside of the main studio. Sure. Would you say that you were one of the first to actually get your own financing where you called the shots?
I wouldn't say I was. Probably within your lifetime, yes.
Yeah.
There were some great independent movie makers back in the 30s, but certainly the whole Hellraiser saga was innovative for someone who and it wasn't really because we were independent, low-budget filmmakers, and it wasn't hard to raise that kind of money with the product that we had, with the script that we had, and the development that we did and the research. The first Hellraiser was made for under $3 million, which at the time was ridiculous. A ridiculously small amount of money.
So take my viewers behind the scenes. First, how did you figure in your mind that you would be able to do this, actually go out and get this money, and then how did it feel going through the process, then the finished product up on the screen, and then the money that rolled in? So explain that to the people.
It was scary.
Okay.
Because the first time that you're in charge of that amount of money and that number of people, we had a crew of nearly 100 people with the special effects makeup and everything. And $3 million was a lot of money to me. I'd worked on the crew for years in a very junior capacity. So It was scary. On the other hand, I love the medium, and I love the way film works, the working side of film. I do enjoy that. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think that filmmakers are kind of fly-by-night characters and not. It's very hard work. We run a film crew. It's very much like the military. You know, call time is call time. Don't be a minute late. Get there 5 minutes, 10 minutes early.
How many no's did you receive in the process before you went and got the money yourself? When you were presenting the scripts, did you go to the studios first and say, I have this idea for Heathers, I have this idea for Hellraisers, and how many no's did you get before you said, I'm going to do this myself and prove this product, or did you even think of that?
Oh yes. I've been trying to get scripts made for a couple of years, as apart from my ordinary job as a location manager, which I did very much. And I guess you get half a dozen no's, and you realize that the moment you quit doing that is when you keep hearing the same response. If you get different responses, then that gives you something to think about. But if they keep saying the same thing, you understand that they're actually working for the script, and the script tells them how to get out of saying no. And so when they start to give you the same reasons over and over, well, we're not sure the audience is there, we're not sure that with this project can be covered, and so on, then you start to think, oh, wait a minute, they're all reading from the same page here. I know it's not, that isn't the page. I know that page is not correct, because look at what Wes Craven's doing, look what George Romero's doing, look what any number of filmmakers are doing. And basically saying that if you stay within your genre of film, and I stay basically within horror, science fiction, fantasy, and comedy. Comedies are scary, but that's another story. You stay within your genre, you know your audience, and that audience is a young audience. It renews itself every year. Another batch of high school kids graduate, and this is our audience for that kind of thing.
Is that 12 to 18?
It's a little, some of the movies are not, well, I mean, some of there are devotees of the genre. We have Fangoria conventions and things like that. But also, sometimes I don't think that the movies that I've done, I'm sometimes a little uncomfortable in the theatre, because I go to the theatre to see how the audience reacts, and I see families with little kids, and sometimes think, why are you bringing in
one last question from the past, and now let's go to the future.
To the future, all right.
So one last question. I was watching a documentary on screenwriters. How many scripts do you have that people said no to, or did you have these scripts and you just said, well, after you got half a dozen no's on these 4 scripts, you said, I'm going to get my own finance, or do you have scripts that you wrote that some people said they had 12 scripts, 20 scripts, and they may have gotten 3 or 4 or 5 made? Do you have scripts that you wrote during that time period that you said you got discouraged with, and then you wrote again, or did you rewrite until you got what you felt was the finished product?
Well, yeah, it's a combination of those things. It is tiring to listen to people say no about it. On the other hand, the writing is a collaborative process, and I edit scripts for other people, and other people edit scripts for me and give me ideas. Where the writing community is kind of like that. They're jealous in one way, but they're very generous in other ways. And sometimes you just put it on the shelf, and you think, well, one day I'll get around to making it. I've got probably 6 scripts in my collection in the storage unit that one day I know will work. One day I know I'll find the right people to put it together. And I know I can make the movies because that's what I do. The thing is to keep going. You have to keep going, and you have to keep finding new material and keeping track of the market, keeping track of your audience. What are they interested in? Sometimes it gets a little disheartening. On the other hand, it also quite often gets really rewarding, and you have good performances, and you're excited about what you're doing. And as I always say to my crews, you can put up with anybody for 8 weeks. So I don't want to hear any whining about he did this and she did that. Just do your job.
right out. So, how long have you been writing?
I've been writing since I was about 9. I'm 20 now, maybe about 11 years.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to go down there and meet her now. Yeah, I had one of those fresh fish tacos. You say they call it, sometimes call it diarrhea. Man, ain't nobody, you know, my stomach is rock hard.
Mr. D, I'm on the inside. Is it all right if I wait in here?
Yeah, it's okay. Look at some of the scripts.
This dude got money. Fuck the filming. The frame up is gonna be better.
And put the money back in my wallet.
Okay. Why did I say that? I know what I'm gonna do.
Fuck it. Here she is. Not only is she in my hotel room, an unfortunate situation, but she done changed clothes. How am I gonna handle this? Money is always a test.
I looked in it, but I didn't take any.
I think I stuck my money in my wallet like this. But don't worry about it.
I can make it up to you.
No, come on. We're gonna shoot the test read in the hospitality suite.
No, we can do it right here. We can do it right here. I've been looking over some of your scripts, and they're pretty good. I think we should start with this one. We began in wheelchair.
Now, don't get me wrong. This is Crazy D. I'm standing inside of Sight and Sound Center on North MLK Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right. And when you wanna get the Black Ice Chronicles DVD titles, you know it's only one place in Las Vegas where you can get it. Right here in Sight and Sound Center at 1000 North MLK Boulevard in Las Vegas.
Hi, welcome to the Zombie Zone, your source for everything horror. This is where horror comes alive again. And our newest DVD is right here. It's called The Shifter, which we're very proud to present, and we will be screening it every Friday and Saturday evening. We have everything relating to zombies and horror. Vampires, slippers, calendars, Freddy, Jason, Nightmare Before Christmas, Monsters Inc., t-shirts, lots of t-shirts. We are located at 885 South Rainbow, on the corner of Rainbow and Charleston, right next to Ross Dress for Less.
Cut.
Give us a little bit of what you're looking for in the next 5 years as far as film.
All right, I'm looking to produce 3 movies a year, at least 2, hopefully 3. More than 3 is too much for one person to really cope with, because it's a lot of work goes into preparation before you start shooting, as you know. So 3 movies a year, staying in within the genre that I'm known for and I'm familiar with and I have a lot of experience with, watching the market, and then most importantly, looking at ways of marketing the film so that we can cut out some of the nonsense that goes on with distribution in terms of money disappearing and so on. Direct marketing using the modern tools we have. Which are basic. Absolutely. Net first, it's all happening. And that's one of the most exciting things about being alive right now, especially when you're my age and you look back and think, my God, the first movies I ever saw were still in black and white. Okay. So, to you aspiring filmmakers, first of all, don't give up, keep going. If a project stalls, move on to another one. We all have different ideas at different times, and there's nothing wrong with that. Keep going. And find experienced filmmakers. Don't be afraid to show other filmmakers, especially the older ones who've been through the mill. Don't be afraid to show them your work. Don't be afraid for criticism. A critique of your work that just basically kisses you on the backside is no help to you at all. You need honest opinions. You need to be getting input from people who will give you an honest opinion and say, no, this won't work because that or this. But keep going. You have to keep up and you have to do what you have to do. During my career as a producer, I've had 3 or 4 different backup jobs because you have slow periods when nothing happens for 9 months and you have to pay the groceries and the rent. So I've been through all that. And that's my advice to you, is keep going and move on. Don't get bogged down in one subject. Always have 3 scripts. I always have 3 scripts on the go.
How many scripts do you need to have?
Well, writing samples. Very few people in Hollywood will read a whole script. So the trick is to take an interesting scene, or a significant scene, I should say, obviously interesting, and give that as a writing sample, and give them 4 or 5 writing samples from different scripts, or at least different scenes, to get them excited about your work as a writer, or as a producer, or as a director. It it isn't necessary to have an agent or a manager necessarily. It is as an actor, but not necessarily as a writer. But what you do need is you need to have people who have connections. Hollywood is a small village, and it's very parochial. People, I lived down in Long Beach for a while, and I'd say to people, come down. I'm living on a boat in Long Beach Marina, charming place, and I'd ask people, so come down for brunch on the boat and so on. Okay, how do I get to Long Beach? And he said, really? You're kidding me? You don't know how to get from North Hollywood to Long Beach? You drive down the 5.
Okay.
Or you drive down the 15, the 4 or 5. You know, it's a very small community, so connections, who you know, who you meet, and who you like to work with is very important. And I can't stress that enough. On the other hand, come to Vegas. We've got a growing community here. It's thriving, and it's going to thrive quite a lot better, hopefully, in the next 5 or 6 years.
So, as you see, information from a person who actually knows what it takes to make it. And that's all that I could possibly give you. I would like to thank Chris Webster for speaking to us today on The Crazy D Show. Black Ice Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy D. I'm standing in the world famous VIP Records at 1020 East Pacific Highway in Long Beach, California. It is the place for you to pick up the Black Ice Chronicles Females DVD and the Black Ice Chronicles The Shifter DVD. Come in today, pick them up, you will be entertained. The Black Ice Chronicles.
Welcome to TC's Real Crib! TC's Real Crib!
On the strip.
What's the name of this jam?
Fuck these hoes.
I egg MCs and beg them please, don't come all whack. Oh, I might have to ride your back, then got your track. Into dopeness, I wrote this so you can focus on your bogus lyrics, and you know this is true. So what you ought to do is gather up your crew kids, pearl split. Cause y'all's a bunch of bitches, which is a proven fact. I'm moving on that backtrack your contact, then smack the neck. I do your best get like bam, kapayel. How you like him now, y'all? You sound like more disgusting when I'm busting that ass wide open. I hope when you flow, you have a technique that's better than weak Negro. Cause I can see no pro taking me out, or even calling my bluff. I'm kicking ass like the last dragon. Showing up tagging these MCs with more diseases than the health book. So nigga, watch that left hook.